Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We from a group 5 would like to present the results of our group discussion. First of all, I would like to thank Ms. Rika Frianti, who respect and also all my friends. Okay, my name is Zahara Nelvia Salam. I'll explain the first material. There are 6 key principles of reframing the current ELT curriculum in Indonesia. The first is revisiting roles of teachers from a curriculum development perspective. The second is negotiating policy and curriculum materials, teachers-driven language curriculum development. The third is positioning and framing English language pedagogy. The fourth is integrating assessment and pedagogy, a dynamic approach. The fifth is re-envisioning sound language teacher training and education. The sixth is sustaining vibrant teacher professional development. The first is revisiting roles of teachers from a curriculum development perspective. In the curriculum development literature, there are approaches to how teachers enforce the curriculum at the grade level. Approach this includes accuracy, curriculum delivery, curriculum adaptation development, and curriculum endorsement determination. In the first curriculum model, the delivery of a top-down curriculum or framework, teachers are required to follow predetermined curriculum materials, such as syllabus, lesson plans, and textbooks. The second curriculum model, curriculum adaptation or development, requires teachers to adapt curriculum materials. Example, competency, standards, syllabus, textbooks to their local teaching practices. They make significant adjustment so that they can explore what works best and what doesn't. The third curriculum model, curriculum setting, sees curriculum as a process created together and experienced by students and teachers jointly and individually. In this case, the curriculum is not viewed as a product but as a process of returning construction of the prevailing experience or ongoing teaching and learning process that students and teachers face.
Negotiating policy and curriculum materials, teacher-driven language curriculum development. The curriculum as a product of language policy and planning includes 3 elements: curriculum policy and material, pedagogy, and assessment. These elements establish the totality of the language curriculum as emphasized by enactment and evaluation. The result of the design will be experienced by teachers and students in the classroom by McAllister and Nation 2011. This implies that both teachers and students have the right to vote and be involved in this process. From a critical point of view, the language curriculum is always attached to the social environment. This social environment includes a variety of contextual factors like social, cultural, political, historical, cultural, economic, geographical, and institutional. This shows that the design of language curriculum is complex, dynamic, and fluid by nature. Because of the complexity, and smoothness of this endeavor, the curriculum is always at the corner of debate in the field education. Positioning and framing English language pedagogy. Pedagogical is part of the experience curriculum. Without pedagogy, curriculum is seen as a document or a plan. In other words, pedagogic practice is a manifestation of the official curriculum, hidden curriculum, and null curriculum. Pedagogical items are always complex and multidimensional. For example, power, agency, identity, forms of participation. Due to the complexity of language pedagogy, English learning cannot be carried out linearly. As stipulated in the 2013 ELT curriculum, teachers and students must be experienced 5 stages of the learning process, namely observing, questioning, experimenting, exploring, associating, and communicating. This process attempts to dictate the way teacher and students engage in face-to-face pedagogy. This process of pedagogy cannot simply be viewed as an organizational or procedural endeavor, but must be viewed as a dynamic, negotiated, and situated practice. As curriculum makers, language teachers must be trusted to enact their pedagogical practice beyond the 5 stages of learning process.
Okay, the next slide is integrating assessment and pedagogy, a dynamic approach. Language assessment is an important part of the overall curriculum. It should be seen as a continuum of pedagogic practice. It is important to reflect that how and why language assessment should be integrated with language pedagogy. Language assessment should go beyond formative and summative assessment, where the initial goal is to promote learning informally and often in the classroom, and the latter formally planned and managed periodically and aims to document learners' progress or achievement. It is important to remember that both pedagogy and assessment are inseparable, because pedagogy is the process of equipping students with the knowledge, attitude, skill, and abilities necessary to perform real-life tasks, while assessment is a way to recognize students and provide useful input to innovate or reframe existing language pedagogy. Language assessment should be seen as a cognitive, linguistic, psychological, and social endeavor. Okay, re-envisioning sound language teacher training and education. Teacher training and education institution should shape of role of teachers into development roles rather than being instrumental the recognizing teacher institution. The role of teacher as a development is a very relevant to position teacher as an agent of change. To overhaul the ELT 2013 curriculum, language teachers must take on a development roles. With this in mind, language teachers are always engaged in reflective practice, shared knowledge construction, longevity learning, process-oriented, personal and professional learning, and theory-based action enterprise. In line with this, language teacher must realize that teacher must recognize what is meant to be a teacher and how they must behave professionally. Therefore, education and training institutions need to revise the language education curriculum in order to help pre-service language teacher and service language teacher to become competent in the
Okay, sustaining vibrant teacher professional development. Teachers should see professional development activities as a need to grow personally and professionally. They need to maintain their zeal to continue such activities. In this way, teachers see themselves as lifelong learners. Overall, collaboration, life impact, engagement, and empowerment and sustainability are key principles that policymakers and teachers must recognize to plan meaningful and dynamic professional development programs. Thus, factors such as quality, quantity, time, and opportunity must be considered so that teacher can reflect and evaluate quality professional development activities. These activities should be high on the agenda of policymaker, school, administrator, and teacher. Okay, thank you.